Could you tell us your name and where you're from?
I'm Scott Witt, and I'm from here in Las Cruces.
And Scott, in 2006, you were a candidate for office in Las Cruces?
That's right. I ran for State Representative, District 37.
Can you tell us about your experience on election night?
Yeah, I would just say muddled more than anything else. It was a close election. We finished within 3 points of each other. I was a first-timer in an open race. Did way better than we expected. Lost the race by 309 votes out of over about 9,000, so it was really close. We were pretty much neck and neck in both the regular voting and the early voting. And then they started counting absentee ballots, and it was hugely skewed towards my opponent's side. And I guess my only question is, why was it skewed in that direction and none of the other results were? And since the count actually would have made a difference and could have won the election the other way, I really had sort of a crisis of confidence in the whole process, I guess, when it was over.
And approximately when, during the night, I guess they count the absentee ballots after they count the machine votes, can you approximate when that counting was complete?
They didn't finish it that night. I had to wait till the next morning to get the final count. So I went to bed.
So when you went to bed, the race was neck and neck?
Undecided, right.
Is it fair to say that there's been a history of problems, particularly with absentee ballots in the county?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to dig very deep or read very many papers. It happens every single election. There's always something going wrong. Dona Ana County, where we live, of course, is the last county in the nation sometimes to get their counting done. We find ballots that didn't exist. We find them in bathrooms. We find them in ceilings. We find them in places where you would never expect to find ballots, and we find them after the elections are over.
What exactly were ballots doing in the ceiling?
No one knows, of course. When you ask that question, you get a lot of, shoulder shrugging, and we have no idea how it got there.
And when did this occur?
This occurred in 2004 during the presidential election, and then again this year, as they were changing places from the old Bureau of Elections to the new one, they discovered several hundred blank ballots in the wall.
In the wall.
Yeah.
And these were blank ballots from the 2004 election?
Yes, I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I think they were.
Are there any particular conditions that make absentee ballot fraud easier or more likely in the county?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. No one can answer the question the last time our voter rolls were purged in the county, dead people, people who moved, all that sort of thing. So, going back 8 or 10 years, if you've got a bunch of dead people on the rolls, it's simple. Get yourself an absentee ballot, vote for the dead person, put a signature on there, send it in. It'll get banged against the voter rolls, which still has the dead person on it, and you got a vote that counts for a dead person. It's real simple.
And have you considered running for office again in light of just losing a squeaker in 06?
It's tempting. You never know. The problem is, and I don't think it's a problem just for me, but for a lot of the other people that you wish would run, how many times have you run into somebody and you go, man, this guy is really on the ball, really has it right. I would really like to see this guy run for public office. You can't convince people like that around here to run because in a close election, there's no guarantee that the votes will count the way they were cast. It makes it hard to find good candidates.